Hello there beauties, your girl Euniycemari here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and thumbs up this video. I promise it won't hurt.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find a light in your soul, I'll be there.
So today's video is going to be a very informative video. I talk a lot about the skin here on my channel, and I talk a lot about how to care for the skin and how to keep your skin looking the most healthiest it can look and to be the most healthiest from inside and out. So today I wanted to actually take a moment to kind of dive into the skin and what it's all about, and kind of break down the layers of the skin, what the skin is about. If you know what the skin is, what it's all about, how it works, how it operates, that gives you a little bit more knowledge about how to deal with the skin and just overall what the skin is there for. A lot of times we may want younger looking skin, or we may have a skin issue, but we don't really know the background of skin. Okay, so you have to know the full picture in order for you to get the best out of your skin. And so today that's what I'm coming to you guys with, a very educational deep diving video. It may be a little long, I'm not too sure, but all in all this is very educational, very informative, and it's for you guys to take something with you and to apply it to your own life or to your own beauty regimen, whatever the case may be. So today we are talking about the skin, also known as the integumentary system, and we're going to break down first off what the skin is, or what is the purpose of the skin, what is the function of the skin when it comes to the overall body. So the skin is the largest organ of the body. The skin protects us from microbes and the elements, regulates temperature, allows us to feel the sensation of touch, heat, and cold. Yes, so pretty much this outer layer here, this is the largest organ in the body, and it just has this function of protecting the insides and to make sure to regulate temperature and to give you sensing, okay, when it comes to cold, heat, and any other like sensations, touch, things of that sort. Okay, so the skin has about 3 layers, and within those layers there are other areas of function. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my little demonstration here. So if you see, we have the epidermis, we have a dermis, and then we have the sebaceous fatty tissue, or also called the hypodermis here. And then also within those they have other little sections of the skin, and we're going to go through all of that. Okay, first going to get into the epidermis. If you see me looking down, I have my notes. So the epidermis is the top layer of the skin. It is the outermost layer of the skin. It's the waterproof and creates skin tone. So that's pretty much it. The epidermis is just the top layer. It gives us that waterproof and it creates the skin tone. Super easy, nothing crazy. So also within the epidermis, you have other layers. So you have about 6 layers of what's in between the epidermis and the dermis. So you have the Stratum Corneum, the Stratum Lucidum, the Stratum Granulosum, the Stratum Spinosum, and the Stratum Basale. So we're going to go into what each of those are and what they do. And so the Stratum Corneum keeps the skin hydrated by preventing water evaporation, and it gives your skin a little bit of that elasticity, that spring back. Stratum lucidum is a thin layer of dead skin cells found on the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. And then the Stratum Granulosum is the waterproofing layer of the skin that prevents fluid loss. Stratum Spinosum is cell layer found between the Stratum Granulosum and the Stratum Basale. And then you have the Stratum Basale, which is the layer closest to the dermis, and it's the deepest layer of the epidermis. Okay, so pretty much the epidermis is that waterproofing layer, the first layer, right? So pretty much after the epidermis, the top layer, and then those 5 layers between the epidermis and the dermis, all those, the stratums, all those between that, they kind of just have that waterproof reinforcement, it seems like, because if you look at them, they're all pretty much like waterproof, elasticity, prevent evaporation. So they just kind of support the epidermis in the sense of like the epidermis is supposed to be the waterproofing, so it kind of just have layers that kind of support or back that waterproofing part of the epidermis. All right, so then the next layer, which is the middle layer, is the dermis. Okay, the dermis is beneath the epidermis and has connective tissue, hair follicles, and sweat glands. Okay, and then with the layers between in the dermis that you have the papillary and you have the reticular layers. Okay, so the papillary is the uppermost layer of the dermis. It has collagen fibers and supplies the nutrients to the epidermis. And then you have the reticular, which is the lower level of the dermis, collagen fibers, connective tissue, and they cushion the body from stress or strain. So pretty much those, the papillary and the reticular, they give the dermis its nutrients. So just like how the epidermis, the stratums kind of help with that support of the waterproofing of the skin, the papillary and the reticular, they kind of help with the support of the nutrients of the dermis. Because the dermis, you have the follicles, the connective tissues, and the sweat glands. So that's where you need to have that nutrients to grow that. So that makes sense. And then lastly, the deepest layer is the hypodermis, also known as the sebaceous tissue, and it has the blood vessels, the nerves, and it regulates the body temperature, which makes sense because it's kind of like your scalp in a way. You know how your scalp, you have like, that's like the house of like your hair growth. The hypodermis is like the house of your skin. It's where all the nutrients come up, and they're able to go up through the hypodermis, up to the dermis, and up to the epidermis. So they all kind of work together, which connect, which makes a lot of sense. So pretty much just that deepest layer is where all your nerves and endings are. It's just where your skin gets all of its nutrition. And if you think about it, all three of these layers work together, and they all kind of work together based off of the hypodermis, where all the nutrient comes from. So it's not too difficult to understand. I feel when you break them down and you kind of get a good little note going like I did, you can kind of see what each of these things do and why they're important, and why it's important to keep your skin as healthy so that it can continue to do its job of protecting your body. And also too, like I say, what you eat is important as well, because you want to make sure that that blood, you're getting your nutrients that are going to support the skin, of course. You know, if you're not eating right, if you're not drinking water, taking care of your insides, your body is not going to get its a right amount of nutrients, therefore it's able to have your skin looking the best. So nothing too hard, really easy, really easy, and I kind of think I laid it out pretty simple for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is your girl Euniycemari. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in a later video. Bye.